Dear students, welcome to Doctor's Academy for Taxation and Accounting. In this video, let us discuss the term journal. What is a journal? Journal is the place where the transactions are first recorded, or journal is the book of prime entry where the transactions are entered first. Writing a transaction in a journal is said to be journalizing. Writing a journal, writing a transaction, writing an entry in a journal is said to be journalizing. So let us see the format of a journal. It contains date column, particulars column, ledger folio column, debit amount column and credit amount column. These are the columns where a journal is having. First column is said to be date column, particulars column, ledger folioing column, debit amount and credit amount. I would repeat, the first column is date column, second column is particulars column, third one is ledger folioing column where we will be writing the folio number of the ledger or the page number of the ledger will be written here. The debit amount column and the last one is credit amount column. Every transaction is having at least two elements, that is debit aspect and credit aspect, or receiving aspect and giving aspect. So there are two rules associated with the journalizing. Let us see that rules. Rules of journalizing. The rules may be based on accounting equation or the rules may be based on double entry system. The result will be same if we adopt both the way, the result will be the same. See, in the case of increase in an asset, that to be debited as per accounting equation rule, and decrease in asset to be credited. Like increase in liabilities to be credited or it shows credit balance, and decrease in liability to be debited. Similarly, increase in capital to be credited and decrease in capital to be debited. Similarly, increase in profit or income to be credited and decrease in profit or income to be debited. And finally, increase in expenses or losses to be debited and decrease in expenses or losses to be credited. And based on double entry rule, as I mentioned you in the previous video, that there are three types of account: personal account, real account and nominal account. The whole transactions are classified into these three category of accounts. So based on these three types of accounts, three rules as set in double entry system. The first rule is debit the receiver and credit the giver. Second rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And third rule is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Let us take certain example for journal. The first is, for example, Ramu started business. Ramu started business with cash rupees 1 lakh. This is the transaction. Now we have to apply the accounting equation or the double entry equation or double entry rule for analyzing the transaction. Let us analyze this transaction. Ramu started business with cash rupees 1 lakh. See my dear friends, here the cash comes into the business from the person Ramu. From the person Ramu, cash comes into the business. So we have to use double entry rule, combination of personal and real. So this transaction, I can say this is a personal real combination of transaction. Personal part is there, that is Ramu started business or Ramu given cash to the business and the business has got money. So my dear friends, here we have to adopt the first part of real account rule and the second part of personal account rule. For example, comes in, what comes in? This comes under the real account rule. Cash comes in, to where? To the business. So debit what comes in? Cash comes in. So cash account debtor. 2. The second part of personal account rule. The second part of the personal account rule, you remember that credit the giver. So giver is Ramu. Ramu's account. Ramu's capital account. So the journal entry will be cash account debtor to Ramu's capital account. Meaning of this journal, meaning of this writing is cash received rupees 1 lakh from Ramu to start the business. This is the meaning. So this is the language of the business, as I told you. Through this, the business is communicating. So the cash comes into the business and Ramu given the cash to the business. So here we adopted two rules, that is real account rule and personal account rule. Two rules we have used. Or if we adopt the accounting equation, if asset increases, debit. You see, cash is an asset. So if cash increases, we debited it. And see here, it is the liability. Capital is a liability. Capital increased, we credited it. So this is how the journal is developed. Let us take the second example, that bought goods for rupees 50,000. So what comes into the business? Goods comes into the business. So debit what comes in? Goods comes in. When goods comes in for sale or goods bought for sale is technically called purchases. So we have to debit purchases. Purchases account debited to credit what goes out. What goes out here? Cash goes out. Cash account for 50,000 and 50,000. Suppose we change the question. Bought goods for rupees 50,000 from Vinod. Then what will be the journal entry? The same goods comes in, so that it will be purchases. Purchases account debtor to. Who given the goods? Mr. Vinod given. So Vinod's account. 50,000, 50,000. See dear friends, here the difference is, here debit what comes in rule. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out rule is applied here. So it is a transaction which exclusively deals with the real account. But here it is different, that bought goods for cash from Vinod, which means this is partially real and partially personal. So we have to adopt the rule of real and personal. Debit what comes in, goods comes in. When goods comes in for sale, it is purchases. From whom it is came? From Vinod. So purchases accounted to Vinod account. Hope this is clear. Let us take another transaction. Sold goods for cash rupees 75,000. Then what will be the journal entry? Let us see. So here, when we analyze this transaction, what comes into the business? Cash comes into the business. So debit what comes in? Cash comes in. Cash account debtor. 2. Credit what goes out? Goods goes out. When goods goes out, we technically call it as sales. So dear friends, the journal entry is cash account debtor to sales. We adopted here the same rule of real account rule, that is debit what comes in and credit what goes out to the extent of 75,000, that cash comes in 75,000 and the goods worth rupees 75,000 goes out. So the journal entry is cash account debtor to sales account. Let us modify the transaction. Let us assume that this is a credit transaction. Cash not received. Sold goods to Y, Mr. Y, for rupees 75,000. The same amount. Let us see. So what will be the journal entry? Is cash came here? No, it is credit transaction. So who received it? Y received it. So debit the receiver. Who is the receiver? Y is the receiver. So Y's account debtor to credit what goes out? Sales goes out. Goods goes out. So Y's account debtor to sales account. Here we have written cash account debtor to sales. But here it is not cash account, it is credit transaction, personal transaction. It is a semi-personal real account. So Y's account debtor to sales account. Hope the concept is clear. Some amount of the goods which we already bought from Vinod has returned because of defective in nature. So in that case, it is said to be purchases returned. So what will be the journal entry? Let us see. So we are returning the goods to Vinod. So we have to debit Vinod. Debit the receiver. Vinod is the receiver. Vinod account debtor to credit what goes out. The goods which we bought is returned. So that we have to develop another term is known as purchases returned. Purchases returns to the extent of 2000. So here what we have done is, it is a personal come real type of transaction. Debit the receiver, credit what goes out. Goods goes out, but it is not sales. It is purchase returns. So that the journal entry will be Vinod account debtor to purchases return account. Suppose another transaction is sales return, returned goods from Mr. Y. We have already sold a credit sale that we have made to Mr. Y for 75,000, of which he found that goods worth rupees 5,000 was defective and he returned it to us. Then it is sales return for the business. So that we have to write sales return account debtor to credit the giver. Who is the giver? Y is the giver. Y's account to the extent of 5,000. So here also it is a semi-real and personal account. Here the goods is received. It is not purchases. It is the sold goods is came back. So the journal entry is sales return account debtor to Y's account. Next transaction, let us take cash deposited with bank. Suppose the cash is deposited with bank, then what goes out? Cash goes out, and who is the receiver? Banker is the receiver. So that the journal entry will be bank account debtor to cash account. Value 10,000. So here we used personal and real account rule. Debit the receiver, banker is the receiver from us, from the business, and the credit what goes out, cash is goes out. So that the journal entry is bank account debtor to cash. Suppose we withdraw the money from the bank. withdraw from the bank. Say for example 5,000 withdrawn. If it is for office purpose, then the journal entry will be cash account debtor to bank account. Cash account debtor to bank account if it is for office purpose. But if it is for personal purpose of the businessman, then instead of cash it will be withdrawal or drawings account. Drawings account debtor to bank account. Drawings account debtor to bank account. So here it is personal drawings. It is not drawn for the purpose of the business. It is drawn for the purpose of the businessman. So that it will be the drawings account of the businessman, account debtor to bank account. For example, maybe 1,000 rupees drawn for personal purpose from the bank. So the journal entry will be drawings account debtor to bank account. Suppose any expenses incurred, then we have to adopt the nominal account rule. What is nominal account rule? Debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Suppose salary paid, wages paid or rent paid. So, debit all expenses and losses, salary account debtor to cash. Credit what goes out? Cash goes out. Value 3,000. Similarly, wages paid. Debit all expenses. Wages is an expense. So, wages account debtor to cash 500. And rent paid. Rent account debtor to cash value 2,000. If these transactions happen on the same day, we can write or we can combine the journal, and such journal is said to be compound journal entry. Compound journal entry is nothing but at least more than one item, one entry is there either in the debit side or in the credit side. It is said to be compound journal entry. Let us try to write this as a compound journal entry. Here, salary account debtor, wages account debtor, rent account debtor to cash. To cash here means we have to add all these three. So it is 5,500 here. And here it is 3,000. And here it is 500. And here it is 2,000. So such a journal entry is said to be compound journal entry. So this is also possible while journalizing combination or combining journal entry or transactions and writing single journal entry. Such a journal entry is said to be compound journal entry. Hope this concept is clear. That is journalizing, the meaning of journal and the process of journalizing, application of the double entry rule for converting the transaction into the business language, that is journal, or into the format of the accounting process where we write the transaction firstly, that is journal. Hope this video is useful for you. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and share with the students community. Thank you very much.